here at IAD Florida. And today I have a very special guest. As we've mentioned many, many times on the calls, that we are an international brand, IAD, and we have headquarters in Europe in Paris, but we also have 7 other countries that we're in outside the United States. And a lot of companies, including the one I worked for before, which was in quite a few international countries, say, hey, we're very international. But when it comes to interaction to the United States and agents and clients, almost non-existent. Well, that's a little different here at IAD, right? Here, we actually have very, very deep ties to all the different countries, especially in Europe, mainly because we do a lot of transactions back and forth. We interact quite a bit back and forth, and our agents have the ability to grow their organizations in other countries. So with that, I want to introduce my counterpart, the managing director from IAD Germany. That is Apostolos Bibudis, and he has been on board now, newer to the company, but about 6 months, so we're catching him fresh. This is the fresh part right here. And he's had some fantastic interactions with the agents, the growth in Germany, and I just want to say welcome to the organization.
Hi, Chris. Thank you for having me. How
Absolutely.
are you today?
I'm doing great, and I'm excited to have you on board. We tried to get together a few times, but some of the stormy season here in Florida has pushed this off, but we're back at it.
So, good to see you. Good to see you in one shape and great shape. This is really fantastic. So
one piece, house still here. It's fantastic. So we had a little bit of a delay and some with all the storms, but everything is back on track in IAD Florida. We're based in Orlando, so
good to hear. Good to
safer from the coast. So my question for you is, you're in Frankfurt in Germany, which is where
That's correct. That's correct.
Tell us a little bit about the real estate market in Germany, and then we'll touch on IAD as well.
Yeah, I would love to. Thank you very much for this opportunity, and thank you again for the Floridian team for having me live today. Thank you for reporting to the IAD Germany model. I think the most important thing is, like you, before we worked also in the classical franchise system. So it's, of course, a paradigmal change here. The market itself in Germany is coming back to a really good stand. It's a really robust situation. We are still in the recovery mode, but I think we managed to pass through the valley of tears, as we say here in Germany, or to make it in a more intuitive way. So the thing is going back to normal, and the normal, which we know is 3% interest rates, 1.6% of inflation. So I think we are going into a more better situation. And of course, when you go from the IAD perspective, I think the model which we are representing both in our countries is something unique and new to the market, which is of course shaking up the classical real estate market, I would say, of course, with the possibilities inside and outside from the attachment. I mean, if you see it, we have the classical franchise businesses all over the place in Germany, from luxury to an average brokerage, basically, station-wise, of course, because of the changing market in our cities, which we have currently and which we observe. It's changing. The people are not going anymore into the city so much as they used to be before. So there is some things, of course, changing in terms of maybe from the visibility standpoint. The market itself is changing to a more rapid user in this way. On-demand usage is really important. So this is something which we can cover as IAD agents, and also to unchain maybe possibilities which have not been before for the pros and not pros, as you know, so specific things. And of course, the humanized, centric view like we have to the agents, because they are the stars of our universe. And it's great to see that things are evolving. And currently we have 200 agents in Germany which are operating through and with IAD.
And in Germany, that's quite large, because most of the time it's smaller locations. A couple people in an office is more common than it is to see very large organizations. So that's great. What I've noticed is that we have in the United States quite a few people who come over from other parts of the world to buy real estate. And a lot of those times they're very key markets. And some of those key markets, obviously, we live in here in Florida. We see, the Orlando, the Tampas, the West Palm Beach, the Miami, the Fort Lauderdales, those type of things, the Naples on one side of the coast, you'll see a lot of folks from Europe coming over and buying property. So the fact that we have so many agents at both sides of the pond really helps us build those, helps the transactions, both from getting our listings exposed to other parts of the world, but it also helps when you have a buyer ready, willing, and able coming over to the United States with money in hand looking to invest. So from both sides of the transaction, which we do most of the time, buyer and seller, we're excited about the opportunities to work with you all directly. And so I'm glad to see that you're on board and everything is going well. And I agree with you, our focus, at IAD, especially, within the core values of the system itself, that's what makes us a bit different than everybody else, is it's really agent first, right? So our agents are really, when you mentioned the stars of the show, we focus all of our efforts. Like, you and I are not building big teams. We don't have downlines. We're out here to help support and grow our agents. And again, as we grow further across the state of Florida and then outside into other countries, opening up more and more opportunities, again, it will be agent driven. So I am super excited to welcome you to IAD and happy to hear that everything is going so well in Germany. Looking forward to maybe getting together again in the near future, one of the events, and doing another report.
It would be fantastic. Thank you for having me here. And I think also for the future, there could and might be more interchangement between our countries, because from our perspective in Germany, Florida is always a really good destination to go. And maybe in the future, our agents will do more transactions together. This would be, of course, really, really promising for me. And I think for both, for the whole system itself. So it's great. Thank you.
Let's set up a summit. I'm doing exactly the same thing with Mexico on an ongoing basis. So very excited about that. And we look forward to it. So have a great weekend. And again, thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. All the best, Chris. Thank you very much. And all the best. Bye.